This is going to be the fire sign readings for this week. I'm doing this live stream on Monday because I'm going to the beach tomorrow. A long anticipated beach trip with my roommate. Hi Jason, how have you been? It's very good to see you. Again. I hope that you are well. So again, this week I'm going to be using the Lens Tarot, probably for a while into the foreseeable future. So we are going to start with the fire sign of Aries. Aries. We actually just had that full moon in Aries last night as of this live stream. But of course, you might be watching this video on a different day, in which case I'll let you figure out when the full moon was. Worshipping magnesium. There could be some kind of smoke and mirrors trick that's happening as part of a ritual or service. And the instruction that comes with that is to remember that it's part of the showmanship and not to worship the magnesium. The flash is the exciting part to see. Somebody might also be using fireworks, setting up some kind of fireworks display. That's also possible. I'll be done shuffling the cards soon, Aries. So if you would like, you can go ahead at this time and establish your intention for the reading. Establish your intention for the reading. And if you want, you can breathe in a way that you find relaxing. I say that because not everybody can take deep breaths, but maybe if you breathe in a way that is rhythmically calming, or if you are feeling somewhat drained, like you need restorative energies brought in, you may draw those in. Imagine on your incoming breaths, source energy entering and imbuing every cell of your body. All right, so Aries, now I'm going to pick some cards for you. Try to keep my eyes closed so I'm not influenced by being able to see. in the viewfinder. All right, that should be enough for now. We can always draw more if we need them. And I will put your timestamp down. Okay. So one card that's coming out at the end is the Six of Swords. This could be possibility for travel. It could be day trips because it's coming out with the day rune card. So we have a King of Pentacles who's showing up in a place of lack. That's a lot of earth energy for you, Aries. Some of you could be Taurus cusp or have other earth placements. This could also be that normally you're very stable, but that for whatever reason at this particular time, you are feeling some instability. So, not necessarily that you are unstable right now, but you might be feeling that way. We have that followed by this Two of Cups upright with the King of Cups reversed. So you might be somebody or be involved with somebody who has a lot to offer financially, but emotionally they're not very nurturing. They might be kind of cold. This could be a love relationship, but it could also just be a close emotional bond of some kind. It could even be a relationship with a father figure. This is coming out with Hand of the Hunter too. So this can be kind of like Deus Ex Machina. It is the time when the higher power takes notice of you. And that coming out reversed, it might be that you feel ignored by this, or you feel ignored in the relationship, or you feel like that some kind of divine intervention should have come into this situation by now. We do have a new business partnership or balance being brought in by this letter. The letter could be a check coming in the mail. It could be news, or it could be a contract coming in to be signed. All of those things are possible. We have this Death card and the Two of Wands showing up reversed. So there's a stagnancy going on here. And because of that, planning is very difficult. There's a change that needs to come in that has not yet. And there is another Death card coming after the next two cards. So this is something that's going to need to be brought to pass, perhaps before that planning can take place. So what we have is the gloaming, which is day turning into night, and then we have the moon reversed. So as things become more and more obscure by the darkness and more unclear, there is eventually going to come a time when you get to the other side of that. Excuse me. And you move back into the light again. And once that occurs, you will be able to make that transformation. We then have the Five of Wands coming out. This might be a collaborative process by that point. But the Five of Wands is also creative competition and competition of different kinds. So there might be a lot of people involved, and kind of like a too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing is possible. We also have the Hermit card showing up reversed. So the time for asceticism and self-exploration is going to be ending. That seems like it will be a prevalent energy in this particular time, traveling through that darkness. But by the time you're involved in this collaboration, we have the Chariot, we have the Eight of Pentacles coming out. So this being a victory that is going to lead to long-term prospects for material gain. This could be happening by the winter time because we have the Frost card coming out. Frost is also things being cold, so this could have to do with something that makes things cold. You could be traveling to a cold place because we have both of these kind of Nordic symbolism cards coming out with this Six of Swords. So that could even be traveling to like Scandinavia or the Nordic countries, traveling to a place that's very cold. And we have the Empress and the Ten of Cups. So this is a very passive energy. The Empress is somebody who waits for things to come to her. And the Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. So it looks like this is going to bring in a lot of luxury and a lot of emotional satisfaction for you, Aries. And again, the first reading I did of the night didn't end up being very long, because that's not even a 10-minute reading. In this particular case, I'm going to opt to do a bonus round. And I'll pick 3 cards. And you can decide yes or no. Question what question you want answered. We have some very brightly colored cards. So it's going to be important for you at this time to conserve your resources, Aries. Oh, good, Jason. I'm glad to hear that. That is going to avert disaster. And there might be a similar situation to something in the past. So there might have been a time where you were too enthusiastic about something and maybe you didn't manage your resources appropriately and it led to this tower situation. And so having learned from that, you're going to be more prudent in your future transactions. And I apologize. It sounds like my roommate is listening to TikTok videos in the kitchen. So hopefully you guys are not able to hear that too clearly in the video. I don't really know, other than like walking try to be very unobtrusive, and I really don't want to create a situation where people feel like they have to be quiet in the living space, you know? Oh, good, Jason. I'm glad it resonated. So now we're going to move on to the sign of Leo. Always of great interest to me, of course, as it is my sun sign placement. Maybe it'll be interesting to some of you guys as well. But Leo, if you have come to the reading tonight with a specific intention, I invite you at this time to go ahead and establish your intention for the reading. And just kind of gently wait while I shuffle the cards. Because I want to make sure that they are well blended and well mixed together. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. My nose is so itchy. So itchy. I'm sorry. I can't help it when my nose is itchy. It's because of allergies. I have allergies. So you can take some relaxing breaths if you find that useful and helpful at this time. And let's pull some cards. There's some cards. There's some cards. There's some cards. And a couple of cards here. And what kind of stack do we have here? This looks good. Okay. Let me put down the timestamp. And we'll get started. So there's something returning from the past, from energies that you have put out there. Your energy is returning to you at this time threefold. We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and we have it with the 10 of Wands. So there's burdens and oppression afoot, and you could feel like there's been a change in your fortune. We have the Hawk Moth coming out with the Mellified Man, with the 7 of Bells. This figure is also very much like the King in Yellow. So that's why I've used those quotes this week from the only surviving portion of the play, The King in Yellow, according to the book by Robert Chambers, of course. And this figure, the King in Yellow, is so disfigured that people think he's wearing a mask, but actually he's not wearing a mask. And this is coming up with the Hawk Moth, which is a card about transformation and about carrying the soul into the underworld. So we have this transformation taking place, perhaps into a healer, into something more medicinal. There is a certain amount of self-sacrifice that can be present with that card, but because it's showing up in the upright, it's going to be the exalted properties, one of which is these 7 bells all around, which I equate to the 7 voices and the connection to source and higher power energy. We have the Queen of Wands coming out with the Hermit reversed. So you're going to be very social in this upcoming time. And you'll be coming out exalted as this Queen of Wands here. Don't be shy. We have some cards coming out reversed altogether. So the Alley Man and Father Sleep are showing up reversed. And they're showing up with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So there could be a new opportunity for money coming in that you don't yet see. Money or resources. And the Alley Man and Father Sleep could represent people that you'll be working with. They can also represent certain traits that would be inherent in the situation. So Father Sleep can be about getting proper rest, but can also be about the time frame, that it takes a long time to unfold. The Alley Man is the demiurge of this deck, the creator of the Alley Man's Tarot, and so acts as kind of like an overseer and a jack of all trades. Somebody who has their hands in everything. Those could be business partners, but you haven't met them yet. This hasn't begun yet. There is going to be a victory. And following that card about victory and mobility with the battle, which is Chariot card, we have the Pouncers, the 6 of Pouncers. The element of surprise, but also removing any trace. So you see this person is about to commit some act and is in the nude, possibly to eliminate the possibility for evidence to be accumulated. Pouncers are also these little devices that you would use when you were writing with a nib pen to remove excess ink from the page without smudging. So, removing excess ink from the page without having it smudge. This is going to be followed by hopes and dreams being fulfilled. So, there might be some kind of job that you're asked to do. Some task that you're asked to complete before you're invited into this new situation. There's not going to be very much time for rest, and things might be a little bit topsy-turvy. The black moon in reverse here is eliminating the things, though, that alienate you from others. Kind of cutting that away in your life. Hi, Kayla's lovely. I'm having a wonderful time. I hope that you are having a great night also. All right, we've got then the alley coming out. So where better to meet the alley man than where he resides? So going different places, and especially fantastical places. This is going to bring in this massive change in your life. But the personification upon this death card, I also want to point out a warning that a lot of people look similar to the alley man, but have entirely nefarious purposes. So even though these people might be intimidating to be around, it's important to know the difference between that and between somebody who might genuinely be a danger. I'm so sorry. My nose is incredibly itchy. We have the Page of Curses coming out. So, seeking out information about something could be through fortune telling. Overall, the outcome is going to be pretty good, almost perfect, but more importantly, there's a lack of permanence to it. And there's a lack of solvency with that World card reverse, too. Such that it leaves you open for this okay. There's a lack of solvency right now, but I think you're getting information coming in about this ending coming in, and it's going to be a very permanent sort of an ending because we have the Lone and Level Sands here with the World card and the Sun card. So eventually all of this is going to have the potential to become upright energy. And after this is going to be this new beginning, the potential for passion and excitement to come in. There will be a guaranteed victory. Well, guaranteed. It's a tarot reading. Don't let it control your life. And finally, once the ending takes place, you'll be able to plan better for future events. And again, I'm going to pull 3 final cards. Could be a yes or no question that you want to have answered. All right. So what we have here we have Judgment reversed, and it's showing up with the infinite power of Source and the Queen of Cups upright. And I don't really read this as reversed or upright. I think it just represents that Source energy. There could be a test, and you have the possibility to gain access to this Source energy. But there might be aspects of this Queen of Cups energy for you, Leo. This could be somebody helping you. It could be motherly advice, motherly guidance. Somebody encouraging you to have a good time. And let me pull one more card about the Judgment card because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, we have the High Priestess card in the reverse. So you're not seeing this particular thing yet, but you will when it's time. And that's how it's coming through. With the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, those are very passive energies as well. And the High Priestess being that cyclical lunar energy and secrets revealed. I would say allow this source energy to come in for you. There will be steps that you need to take to move forward, but it looks like a lot of this has already been laid into place. And the key is going to be going out and making a nuisance of yourself to others, which I'm sure you will excel at, Leo. So that is going to conclude the Leo reading for this week. After I have completed the Sagittarius reading and the fire signs live stream, I'm going to be going over to the member side of the channel to scry using the flame from this candle. I will also be doing readings for channel members, so if that is interesting to you, please join us. You are cordially invited. But of course, your presence here on the channel, whether that's watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, ringing the little bell so you know when I go live, commenting, or participating in the live chat, all of those things, of course, are so greatly appreciated. All right, so finally, now we will do the sign of Sagittarius. I'm gonna have to watch that Leo reading back again. Sometimes I do the reading and I resonate with it right away. Sometimes I do the readings almost in a fugue state, and I've forgotten the messages as soon as they've left me. Sagittarius, if you have an intention that you'd like to set tonight for the reading, you are invited to do so at this time. I invite you to relax and just let your mind wander, especially around the topics that have brought you to the reading tonight. And I'm just going to shuffle the cards a little bit more, and then we can commence with the readings. All right. And I'll choose some cards. This one on the bottom has been haunting my dreams especially, so it's been peeking at me while I shuffle. Go ahead and just get that out of the way. And pull some more cards. These ones. And these ones. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hi, Maddie. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Yes, we are on the sign of Sagittarius now. All right, so fire sign energy. We've got this card with an abundance of shields upon it. They are being tempered in this fire, and this looks like a child is possibly being sacrificed in that fire to make the shield stronger. And I did go ahead and get the Solabusca Tarot so that I could look into these cards more. This is a deck that I have been fascinated with for some time. So it's perfectly reasonable to have purchased it. Let me see what it has in the book. Suits. These must be pentacles. They look like shields. Coins. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Going beyond and surpassing the limits. So that's an interesting take on it. Let me see if I can, and I'm not going to take up too much more of the time. Let's see, because I haven't put down the timestamp yet. So I'll put down the timestamp after I haul through all of these. Yeah, see? Here it is in the Solabusca deck proper. So what comes before that? 2, 6, 7, 8. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And you can see the longevity. We have like a memento mori to blow set up below. We have the little 8 off to the side, if you can see it over here by my ring finger. And then the 10 of Pentacles, we have the chest full of money. Come on, show the good people. So it's a forging process. It is a process of consecration, and it is a process of sacrifice. We're almost to the end of a particular cycle. And slamming everything around here. As a treat, now I will write down the timestamp so that anyone who wants to come just to the reading part, now we're on to that part. This 9 of Pentacles, oh, we've got, this is a lot going on, Sagittarius. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to where we have the Temperance card. And this is where you, Sagittarius, are showing up in your reading. It's a little bit into the action. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in the early part of the reading. I really want to go over this, so I wanted to find the point of equilibrium where you will be coming back into your own energy. Leading up to that, we have 3 9s. So we've got the 9 of coins here. We have the 9 of sweeties. And we have the 9 of swords. That 9 of coins can also kind of be like feeding the flames of capitalism and commerce, and how we all are kind of the fuel that burns in that fire. There are great rewards possible, but there's also a lot of stress associated with that. And we have the King of Swords coming out with the Queen. And as I mentioned in one of the prior readings, this could be similar to the Queen of Swords because we're looking at this artillery here. So in this particular case, we're going to look at it as the King of Blades and the Queen of weapons, of word bombs. That these are people who might be related, might be twins even, but are also from two different worlds. Very much the separation of the Aztec or Mayan deity depicted here. I did look it up, but I don't remember offhand. And this very colonialism, imperialism undertoned version of the Queen. And this kind of being the fulcrum of balance there, that temperance, that perhaps these are energies that you're reconciling. And this is to establish something in particular with the Four of Wands. That can be purchasing property, but it can also be a celebration. It can be a point of establishment or a milestone as well. Oh, good heavens. My nose is so itchy. I know I've been complaining about it, but it's just so itchy. I have no idea why. The Night Owl is coming out here, and this card doesn't really have a reversal because it's a sideways kind of a card. It's a crossing energy. There could be more activities going on at night at this particular time. There's kind of a blank slate. I feel like there's nothing going on right now that you're particularly interested in, Sagittarius. And it could be the operating hours that you're keeping. That's possible, but it could just be that the nightlife right now is kind of dead. You're still hanging out with your friends with that Three of Cups there. But you're waiting for this transformation to come in. So we have the lightning in a bottle. There's going to be some catalyst at play. And we also have the Death card reversed. And it might be a particularly fluffy and cute transformation. We have the Moon card coming out. So there's going to be things about this particular period of time that are unclear, especially an unclear path. We see that with this particular iteration of the Death card reversed. And coming out with that also is Justice reversed. So there's some situation that is going to need to be equalized. And right now is very unclear. We have the Queen of Ravens. So ravens can have to do with communication. They're excellent communicators. So this could be similar to the Queen of Swords. And if we have her coming out with this Justice card reversed, that could be the Queen of Swords winning out in a situation over the King of Swords from this prior tableau. And ravens can bring in warning as well. So that queen energy, the person speaking their truth in this situation, whether this is you, Sagittarius, or whether this is somebody around you, it's good that they are speaking out. The Queen of Ravens can bring in messages or warnings too. Excuse me. We have the Page of Pentacles, and that kind of flew out onto this Nine of Pentacles that we have here. So the Page of Pentacles being a new job opportunity or a new opportunity to bring in material resources, making material resources concrete. This could have to do with the Four of Wands situation too, because that can be purchasing property, and that establishment can have to do with one's material resources. So we've hit a turnover point in this particular cycle. So where we have all of these nines together, that is something that's going to be brought to an end. And then we'll have a new beginning coming in. We have a death card reversed coming through. We've got another lightning in a bottle. So you've got both the lightning in the bottle cards in your reading, Sagittarius. We have an Ace of Wands reversed. So elemental fire energy coming out. And we have the Tradition reversed. This is kind of like the Hierophant in reverse. It can be about divorce when it's positioned like that. But it can also be about overturning elements of the status quo. Now, because all of these cards are coming out together in the reverse, the potential for these things is there, but it's going to depend on some other factors. So we'll look at those in a minute. This transformation with this lightning in the bottle, we saw that before here and here. So this deck does have an abundance of death cards in it, but I do think specifically in this reading, Sagittarius, there's a lot of changeover happening in cycles in your life right now. And there might be an opportunity for you to thank your ancestors coming up too. I say that because that Tradition card coming out with the Ace of Wands, you might, after this change takes place, you may decide to go and offer thanks to your ancestors. And of course, elemental fire energy would be a perfectly acceptable way of doing that. We have the Queen of Swords coming out a final time in your reading with this 8 of weenie roasts that should be bringing in resolution, but it's in the reverse. So there might be things that still need to be hashed out about this situation. And we have this Queen of Swords coming out yet again to make sure that those certain interests are protected in this situation. That Queen of Swords energy could very well be you, Sagittarius. We have the 3 of books, and we have the 10 of attentions. So getting canceled on social media, it can be a little bit like the 10 of Swords, because we're talking about communication or excommunication, whatever the situation might be. I'm kind of getting the image of that meme with DW from Arthur, where there's a sign on the door that says "Little Sisters Keep Out" or something like that. And DW says, "Luckily, that sign can't stop me because I can't read." So I think that's kind of a similar energy as we have coming through here, Sagittarius. And this might even be what is going on with this Queen of Swords. If you're very truthful and you're like, I don't understand this, I'm not going to sign something I don't understand. And the final key to this puzzle is that we have Mizero coming out. Mizero is a very unhappy person. It's difficult to tell if they are advanced in years or if they look very haggard because they've had a very difficult life. They do still have this dog companion, but as you can see, their clothes are in tatters and shreds. Leaning on that stick, just surrounded by poverty and illness. And because we have this card showing up in the midst of this situation, there's a possibility that at some point in the past, you had been taken advantage of and it left you in a really bad situation. And so you're preventing that from happening this time around. Mizero doesn't necessarily have to be your sob story either. This could be somebody else that you knew that had something happen to them through legal contractual means. And so it's making you very cautious in this situation. You can see there's a larger shadow version of this person on the back of the card too. That they're casting about a very long shadow over this particular situation. So that is going to conclude the fire sign readings for this week. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to go over to the members side of the channel just shortly and do the candle scrying. Until we meet again, I look forward to seeing you very